Hello Internet Allies, how are you doing? So last week I made a video about my favourite pansexual characters in media as a pansexual person myself, and this week I'm going to focus on some of my favourite autistic characters in media because I am also autistic. So here we go. So I'm not going to claim to be like an expert. I'm not going to claim that like I've watched like every single autistic character in media. These are just a few of my favourites, and also it was a bit trickier for me to put together a list of favourite autistic characters in media because there isn't really as many, and I do think that there needs to be more autistic characters in media. Also at the end of this video I might talk a little bit about what I'd like to see in autistic characters in media in the future. Fast forward to the future. So one of my favourite autistic characters happens to be from one of my favourite games, which is Overwatch, and that character is Symmetra. Now Symmetra, she is fabulous. I love Symmetra. I think what makes her great is that even though they don't really sort of like kind of show off a lot of her character in the game, they show off a lot of her character in the comics. The Overwatch comics, and in the comics she's shown to be this person who likes sort of routine, likes order sort of thing. She doesn't really like crowded spaces, and she wants sort of things to make more sense in the world kind of thing. And I think in order to do that, it's sort of like she wants things to sort of be in sort of some kind of formation, some kind of order. And I think like autistic people, they do like their routines, they do like to know what's going on, and do like things to be sort of in some kind of control. She doesn't like chaos whatsoever. I think she also sort of shows some autistic tendencies in Overwatch. She's very like matter of fact, and yeah, I think she sort of clashes with a couple of the characters in the game. Again, characters who I really love. I love Lucio, I love Torbjorn, but she does clash with them because Lucio is much more of like a free spirit than she is. Also, Torbjorn is sort of using like sort of more sort of old-fashioned technology and stuff like that, and I think she kind of likes all things modern, and I think I do relate to that as well because as a kid I used to love like modern stuff and whatnot. You know, I didn't really like old-fashioned stuff at all, but some autistic people do really like old-fashioned stuff as well. And yeah, like I say, Symmetra is very matter of fact, and I think sometimes she doesn't really understand the humour of other characters as well, such as Torbjorn, which sort of means that she does clash with him a little bit. Symmetra is a really good character. I do really like her. I met her voice actress at Comic-Con a few years ago, and she was lovely. I love her voice actress. She's great. She's really lively. She's like life and soul. I love the Overwatch dance video she did with the Overwatch cast, where they had to recreate their characters' dance emotes. Some were a lot easier than others. I could do Symmetra's, you know. Another autistic character in media that I enjoyed seeing was Billy Cranston, the Blue Power Ranger in the 2017 Power Rangers reboot. Now, despite what people think of the movie, yes, it did take forever to get going, but that's by the by. But it was nice to actually see an autistic person in a superhero movie setting and whatnot, because I think like as an autistic person who loves superhero movies, you know, I always think about, oh, it would be so cool to have like superpowers or be part of a superhero team. He tells the Red Ranger that he's on the spectrum, and to be honest, you can kind of see, or again, you can see autistic tendencies at the start of the reboot movie where he's like arranging his pencils in a very neat and tidy way, and he gets quite frustrated when the bullies in his class knock them over, whatever, or knock them out of place and whatnot, and tease him about it. But one thing I do love about Billy is his loyalty and his selflessness to the friends that he makes as well. He literally sacrifices himself for them, like he would literally die for his friends. And I do think that autistic people are extremely loyal to the people that they care about, and will definitely go out of their way to show the people that they care about them. So autistic people they're not always the easiest people to get to know, and it may take autistic people a while to feel comfortable around you and to build that rapport and friendship and great relationship with them. But when you do build up that relationship, it is really rewarding, and autistic people will do their best to be your friend for life, I believe. The final character I'm going to mention in this video is Renee from a short film on Disney Plus called Loop. Now Renee, she is non-verbal and autistic, so it's quite difficult for her to communicate. But what I really love about the short on Disney Plus, Loop, is that it does show autistic traits in a more positive light and everything, and but it also shows like the struggles that autistic people can face, such as like sensory overload and sometimes struggling to communicate those needs. And you know, it shows that, like, you know, autistic people can have like repetitive behaviors, and they can have like comfort items, comfort sounds and whatnot. You know, so she ends up playing this like ringtone over and over, which may be annoying to some, but that gives her comfort. Loop takes place on a canoeing trip where this boy has to make friends with Renee when they are partnered up on a canoeing trip, and he must learn how to communicate with Renee and to really get to know her and whatnot, and he learns a lot from her as well, and learns a lot on how to communicate with an autistic person, and in the end they become good friends, which is really great to see. However, I was really confused why like the instructor just kind of like left them to it, to be honest. Like, you know, he literally just kind of abandoned them, so I'm just like, why? Why did you do it? Must be like the worst canoeing instructor ever. But anyway, but it does show that, you know, autistic people, you know, even though like a lot of us may have difficulty making friends, that it is possible to make friends with people as well. Because, you know, we are really interesting. We are like some of the most interesting people I know. So what would I like to see in an autistic character in media in the future? So first of all, I'd love to see an autistic person as a main character, but at the same time, autism is only part of their story. It's not their entire story and whatnot. And you get to see parts of their autistic tendencies. However, they are still able to do things outside of that autism as well and whatnot. I think that's kind of why I like Symmetra and I like Billy so much, is because even though they are autistic, they are still able to do great things outside of their autism and whatnot. It doesn't solely define who they are, and it doesn't solely define their story. I think I'd love to see a character that I sort of directly relate to as well, to be honest, because there isn't really a lot of autistic characters I particularly relate to in a way. And also, you know, I don't really want the whole like autism stereotype where people are quite sort of robotic and don't understand others' emotions and stuff like that. You know, because like a lot of autistic characters in media can be a little bit like that, I think, or a lot of people who are considered to be on the spectrum in media can be portrayed like that, and that's not really what autism is about at all. Yes, it may take us a while to like learn how other people are feeling, how other people communicate, but you know, it doesn't mean that we can't learn those things. You know, like I do think that as an autistic person, I am quite empathetic towards people, and I can pick up on how people are feeling. Also, I would just absolutely love to see an autistic Disney character in a feature film. That would be fantastic if we got that representation, because I think that would help the world be a more autism friendly, autism inclusive, and autism accepting place. And you know, why not? Because I do think that the Disney parks actually are some of the most accommodating places I've been to for autism. Like, you know, I think if you tell the people who work at the parks that you're autistic, then they will go above and beyond to make your experience as comfortable and as magical as possible. And also, Disney is one of the biggest names in media, so really, you know, if they had an autistic character, that'd be fantastic. I do think autism awareness in media is very important. I do think there definitely needs to be more autism awareness in media. Okay, so thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you'd love to see in an autistic character in media below. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Until next time, keep smiling. Bye.